don't know what to say.
I shaved my face for this.
I just don't know what like. I
I'm
don't think
done. So done.
anything has ever like gone that sweepy at the spirits, right?
I'm sure there's a precedent somewhere if you want to look into it. And I'm sure our chat would be more than happy to come up with that answer. But I'm done with the season. Seriously. I mean, there was a hope for a while, and then now all the hope is lost.
Yeah, because a lot of the big sweepers that have happened in relatively recent years don't typically have a lot of acting wins to go with them. Whereas this one's kind of got all the above.
Well, the only thing I can say that makes me feel good is I'm sorry it had to come at his expense, but Quan lost, and Quan lost to someone from Banshees, so that's at least something that I'm happy about.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising in retrospect that his sweep isn't perfect.
Nope.
Because we were just talking before about how what did we ever determine if it's unprecedented that SAG and BAFTA did not match in any acting category?
Again, I'm sure there's some sort of an award season from a previous year because we always break trends every single year.
Yeah, because compared to other shows, SAG isn't very old.
No, not at all. So yeah, hi. That's your cold open. Hey, at least we get to talk about another boxing movie on a couple days. That'll be good. Corresponds with another boxing movie I watched yesterday.
I can say a few more things here than I did when we did predictions because since we did Spirit Award predictions, I've seen a few of these.
Yeah.
Not many, but a few.
More than I have.
Like I saw a love song and The Inspection, and I finally finished To Leslie. I did what I said I was going to do. I started it over and went all the way through.
Art.
I would have liked to have gotten to Bruiser, but I ran out of time.
Yeah, I did Operation Fortune and Creed 3 yesterday. I've got, as everyone knows, doing All Quiet on the Western Front on Monday at 4:15, right before we do our Oscar predictions. So I was starting later.
I also saw All the Beauty and the Bloodshed finally.
There we go.
And yeah, I got really fucking busy this week. Guess what happened? Guess what happened, guys? I saw Living this week.
Oh shit!
It's a fucking miracle.
What are we talking?
You watching
It's
Living,
a fucking miracle. Is that a review of the film or a review of you being able to see the film?
Yes.
Oh god.
A little bit of both.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer to Ikaru than I thought it would be. Especially being 40 minutes shorter.
Yeah. Obviously, next week I've been waiting forever for Scream 6, which I'm hearing a lot of great things about, and I can't wait to see it. I just got to get my hands on that popcorn tub in the cup from Cinemark. I'll be there tomorrow for AEW, so I have a feeling that hopefully they still have some left. Maybe not. I have to buy them online when they're more expensive. Yeah. Hi everyone. Another award show podcast.
You can really tell when you're not happy with the results because we get like 2 or 3 different intros.
Yeah. Understatement of all time. Yeah, this year sucks for me personally. And when the movie you don't like is sweeping, this season becomes even more intolerable.
Well,
I can't win our contest. I can't even barely place in our contest. I can't even stay competitive to get second place in our contest. So it's almost like it's not even worth me showing up anymore.
Well, this one probably also felt more like a sweep. Not to say this wouldn't have happened anyway, but this had Everything Everywhere All at Once had on its side this time the categories are combined and they had breakthrough. So we still got to see 3 of the cast win. If supporting actress was one category, I do wonder if, first of all, it would have been interesting to see Jamie Lee Curtis and Shu together in the category, but Shu wasn't in supporting, which is because she was just in breakthrough and they didn't want to double up or what the weird ass Spirit Awards rules are. But yeah,
we'll get there
because with the combination of categories, we had almost no women in support. It was hard to say supporting actress would have gone.
Yeah, we got some stuff in chat. Josie, I've got your flashback. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to do chat first. Brian says only one award show left prior to the Oscars. Tomorrow is WGA. Another undeserved win for the gruesome twosome. And thank God I get to watch 60 minutes of Bryan Danielson and MJF tomorrow night, which will probably make it hurt a lot less. Brian says another show Owen would be happy with. Brian, not today. Not today. No more the rest of the season. I can't handle it anymore. I'm totally done with this movie winning things. But I know it's going to happen. Spencer says Pacific Heights on a 6 awards tonight. Excellent to see. BAFTA did what BAFTA wanted. Go ahead.
I was just picturing Spencer in like a Pacific Heights rehab center.
Top Hat says BAFTA did what BAFTA wanted. Yeah, BAFTA did the right thing this year, unlike other award ceremonies. Spencer Reed watched Captain Alex. What a good time.
Yes. Another convert. It's going to happen at some time, Owen.
Probably when after this stupid season's finally over with and I have nothing else to distract myself from losing my mind.
If the Oscars get that bad, if you've got about an hour spare, you can probably get it in there.
The Oscars that get that bad, I'm going to turn off the show.
That's what I'm saying. Put on Who Killed Captain Alex.
Maybe. We'll see. Possible. Brian says, can we make all award shows now stream on YouTube? Yeah, if they tighten up their time.
There's
too long, but I understand why, because it's the Ultimate Award. All the special awards is what took so long.
Oh yeah, about that. Remember how I said SAG had, for me personally, SAG had no technical difficulties?
Oh no.
There was one technical difficulty. It was during the women talking speech, and shock surprise, my internet went out. Like just died immediately. I could have sworn it didn't last very long at all, but the younger girl was talking, and then I got the white spinning circle, and then I refreshed, and then Kevin Bacon was there. So they must have traded out really quickly.
Just like nature. No, I will say that it pulled a normal issue with YouTube. Like if you're doing a live stream and all of a sudden, like our videos that I see all the time, that happens when it says gray on live, and you have to click it to see where we actually are. That happened a few times in the award show, but it was during acceptance speeches I wasn't listening to or care about, so I just wanted to make sure I finished. I watched the show, I just wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, when if it somehow got behind and when I refreshed it, it like jumped ahead. Because that has to have been what happened. Kevin Bacon could not have gotten out there that quickly.
No. I believe my line was, "Are you still talking?" Back to mute. Let's go.
No, women are talking.
Yeah.
I love that she addressed that, and she's and so it was a dig that she called him Marky Mark, right?
Yo, heck yeah, he
Probably.
hates that. Oh my god, he hates that. We found that out years ago. Top Hat says, I know Owen hates the overrated multiverse movie, but for me, it was the movie that got me excited for movies again. Gabriel, honestly, I get it. I totally understand. People mark out for this movie. They have a kinship to it. They think it's the second coming of Jesus Christ. I totally get it. 100%. But I just can't. I tried. I tried hard. Oh, F that movie. I can't dig this award season. And if you got something out of it, you're everybody. Most everyone did. I just didn't. I really did try. AJ knows. We had the conversation after I watched it. I said I hated it even more the second time. You tried. No. Here's the problem, though. I think, again, because of the circumstances, I watched it with a group of marks that had watched it probably at least a few times, that were laughing at everything. If I would have been able to watch, I hate going to the dentist too, Spencer, you see my teeth? Anyway, the thing is, honestly, if I would have got a private viewing of the movie in that theater, maybe I'd have a different opinion, where only I was reacting to what was going on in front of me instead of everyone else.
Or
I tried to move away from other people, but that didn't help either.
Maybe, like, with only sort of a few people in there, not sort of a... Well, even not a packed house, but a house full of, you know, the super fans, if you want to call them that.
And when it's only a few showings of something that's brought back just because of the Oscar run, and it's specifically there at a certain time, you're going to see people there. And it's probably people that have watched it on streaming. They may have not seen it in theater yet, or they may have already watched it in the theater when it was out originally, and they want to watch it again. I need to watch it in an aspect where it's just me, and that's not going to happen. Streaming does not work for me, because obviously you know how I roll when it comes to Best Picture, and it never had a chance. I tried so hard. I couldn't.
I feel like we should switch places, because when I saw it in the theater, there were only like 3 people in there.
Because that's the advantage of where you are versus where I am.
But I would think it would enhance it as a collective experience. So I'd actually I would have liked your experience, and you would have liked my experience.
Yes, correct.
Because I like the rock scene as it is.
Right.
I imagine the rock scene is much better with because I imagine the reactions go up and down, where like there's laughs and then there's silence. It's like when you're in a theater and the rock scene is entirely silent, it's odd because you can imagine where a collective experience would be and what it would sound like. So when it's there, it's weird. So like I said, I feel like I'd have the opposite. We'd have the opposite experiences with it.
Yeah, and the fact is like you mentioned, that's exactly what it was. Everybody else was reacting, and I was dead silent.
And it's like we were saying about me trying to put my curse on it for you.
Yeah, that would help.
When a movie is doing really well and then I fall in love with it, it suddenly starts to do poorly in the award season. I killed The Social Network. Yeah, I can really appreciate the movie. Like I said, I could write papers on why it works. I'm just not emotionally passionate about it, and I still can't really get. Like I said, it's the Best Picture nominee I've rewatched the least besides Women Talking and Avatar, and it's like I can totally appreciate it, and I can see every single thing about it that works, but it's the emotional reaction that I'm not pulling out. And I can even see where the emotional beats are. Like, I see the scene at the end between Evelyn and Joy, and I'm like, this is really emotionally powerful. But I'm saying it, I'm not feeling it, but I can recognize it. But I'm not like feeling it, which is where my passion lacks.
See, I think that's the reason why your curse only works when you're legitimately passionate about something. So if you would have became like a mark for it, like everyone on the planet, you would have killed that movie months ago.
And I
We'd
think
be
it
talking
also,
about Banshees and the Fablemans right now, like we should be.
yeah.
Is-
And but the thing about that also though is that scene's pretty much happening simultaneously with the Rakakuni payoff, and the Rakakuni stuff loses me.
That stuff just like the rest of the movie. It's straight up trash.
Yeah, like it was one of those things where I was hoping to come back around on it, but it's like this just I got nothing for the Rakakuni stuff. I'm sorry.
I thought I was watching Kung Pao again. That's what that gave me vibes of, was Kung Pao, and me walking out of the theater of Kung Pao because I couldn't handle it anymore. I tried.
Well, the thing of, you can tell a huge inspiration on them is Stephen Chow movies.
Hmm.
I never got into Stephen Chow movies either, so it's like that. It's like we talked a lot about how it's kind of one of those things where you really kind of have to go in already ready for the vibe, and yeah, it's gonna be. That's what I'm saying though, and we've been saying this all season. It makes perfect sense to me that it's an acquired taste.
But why does that having to take?
Yeah, I can see where all the emotional impact is, and I get everybody having the reaction that there is. But the thing that surprises me is just that there aren't more people having the reaction that you have. Like that, it's almost universal. Is so wild.
I know, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I mean, back to chat real quick. Brian says we got our first roaster of presenters. Yeah, I actually like this guy. This guy was entertaining to me. The main host.
The semi-pro thing is genuinely depressing.
it was a very Hassan sort of style speech, like just shooting the deadline people there, covering all the stuff, and then it's like, oh shit, he's talking about us.
That was it. See, that's that I enjoyed.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going in a certain order here, but since we're just on the topic of him, I guess it's because Cate Blanchett is such an amazing actress. I genuinely could not tell if the hiding under the table bit was planned or not. Because it looked like she genuinely was embarrassed, but then when everybody followed suit, it felt like a bit, and I honestly couldn't tell.
At the same time, I think they wanted to do the same thing, because it's like, if you get part of a meme that's gonna like fuck over your career, maybe the hiding under the table is the best option.
Yeah, because at the same time, it was like when he came out and he set up the bit, I was like, okay, this is fun, because we on here have made fun of people that do the stupid thumbnail faces.
Yes.
And it's like you can literally see the death of civilization as we know it when you see thumbnails on YouTube. And when we saw where the bit was going, it's like, oh god, you're gonna kill this by making them do it. And then when Blanchett literally hid from him, which it felt legit when she hid from him.
I'm sure of it.
Every time they cut to Blanchett, it looked like she wanted nothing to do with him, which was kind of an amazing running bit in itself.
So apparently we haven't heard if Gaga's performing Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick yet. Vanessa Hudgens will be hosting the pre-show again. I like Vanessa Hudgens even more now that I found out how big of a wrestling fan she is, which is Disney wrestling hand in hand. Ashley Graham and Lily Singh. Yeah, she was a Dynamite the other day, actually. AJ's going to be happy Emily Blunt's presenting.
I saw that, and I'm so happy. And I assume she's going to crush it again like she did at SAG.
So when the Talentless Hacks win Best Director, they have to thank you for not killing their movie, says Mr. Top Hat. Josie rewatched Stay Tuned with her mom today. I love that movie. I will not apologize for this. It's a blast. Great pairing with the overrated multiverse movie because they're both stories of a married couple and families coming together after going through different worlds. Well, I like one and I hate the other. So, Josie, that's the only difference.
I never thought about that, but there is a comparison to be made.
Yeah, for sure. And Josie, I've got your flashbacks. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Yeah, we're gonna jump all over the place here, and yeah, we've got Popcast Movie Club on Tuesday this week because Monday is our Oscar prediction. Time is to be announced on the Oscar predictions. Looks like somewhere in the 7:30 to 8:30 range at this rate. I have to get back from All Quiet on the Western Front, and it's going to take about, I think, 45 minutes maybe to get back, potentially. I did take the whole day off so I could make sure I was there for it, so. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of flashback ski from Josie. But first, hey, Popcast team, just finishing reading Shuna's Journey, volume, that's not even a word, Owen. Volume watercolor illustrated graphic novel by Miyazaki. Wonderful. I loved it. I was reading through Destructive Emotions, How Can We Overcome Them by the Dalai Lama and Daniel Goleman. Love his psychology writings. Asked if we've seen Roger Dodger, Personal Velocity, or Lovely and Amazing, and thoughts on them.
Roger Dodger is interesting because for about the first half hour, I thought I was going to hate that movie.
Yep.
Because the lead character is such a piece of shit. But then, like, I ended up, like, digging the movie. It was wild. I like Lovely and Amazing because I think I like all of Hollisoner's movies. I'm pretty sure. And, of course, the Emily Mortimer scene is very memorable. Anybody who's seen it knows which scene I'm talking about. Every time I hear the title Personal Velocity, I feel like I've seen it, but it's not. But I can't. I don't think I have.
It is not a random action movie from the early 90s.
No, that is Terminal Velocity, which I stand by is a great movie.
Speaking of other movies, One False Move and the 2002 Bad Lieutenant.
There's a 1992 Bad Lieutenant and a 2009 Bad Lieutenant. I don't think there's a 2002 one.
Uh-oh.
I would guess to go with 1992 in this case because it didn't mention New Orleans in any way.
If it starts at 2000, that might be Herzog's. Like she was going to say 2009, but the two from 1992 got in the way.
I can answer that one. I enjoyed it.
Out of them, I think I've seen the original Bad Lieutenant. I haven't seen the sequel, remake, whatever the fuck.
It's just kind of a good thing.
Roger Dodger is a good film.
Yeah, I liked Roger Dodger. All right, let's go. Josie says if we're getting a sweep and the race is over, let's jump to next year. Yes, I agree.
There's races that are not over. Picture and director are over. Picture, director, and supporting actor are over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Barry Keoghan, but BAFTA was a fluke.
BAFTA's the only one that got it right.
And I would almost say original screenplay's over, but McDonough's here. But that's Monday's conversation.
I don't want to live in a world where Banshees goes home empty-handed.
If I'm right, it won't.
Same.
Play that. I did. I made one possibility, and I made a swing for the fences for Banshees that we'll talk about Monday.
Okay. I haven't even thought about looking at Oscar predictions yet. I just want to get the season over with.
Yeah, I did mine yesterday. It was throughout the day yesterday where there were a few I got stumped on, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this away and do this later.
Real quick to chat, Brian says I'm still waiting to see if they're gonna have Ben Stiller present, because we know which category he should present. So I was hoping for Haunted Mansion because I wanted to see it on the big screen. I did not get Haunted Mansion, but I did get my first actual trailer for Air.
Oh, interesting.
I'm all freaking in on Air. 100%. I really hope it does something in the 2024 award season.
Yeah,
just looking at the trailer.
Yeah, because Affleck directed it, right?
Yeah. He didn't write it.
Is this the first thing he's written, or is this the first thing he's directed since Live by Night?
I believe so.
Hang on.
Yeah, because Live by Night was so underrated, and I hate that it kind of put him in director jail for a second.
Benny
Because he's... What's that?
I just randomly said Benny Affleck.
No, the scene, like his stuff with Damon in this trailer is like when they set up and Viola Davis looks like she could run for supporting again. It's just like this. I mean, Air can be big, and just looking at the concept of it, I feel that it's got all the tools that if people don't forget about it, it's something that's probably going to do decently well. We'll get there in a minute. Dune Part 2, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, Asteroid City, gonna be sick. Wonder how Wes Anderson appealing the R rating will turn out. I guess we'll see. A video on Can is what he is asking about. We've never done that before, actually.
Yeah, there was was it a Q&A that kind of turned into a Can video once, and we said we should probably just do a Can video.
And we just haven't followed up on it. Josie says stay tuned for Movie Club. That may not be a bad idea somewhere down the line. Hey Josie, May 1st is coming up pretty soon, so keep that in mind.
I mean, it's got a versus, but that's what we did with UHF. But
yes, that's a great one.
I do know that my brother told me today what his next movie club pick is, and I'm really excited about it. I'll just say that.
Is it right after the game?
What's that?
Right after the Crying Game? Oh, that's the chat. After the Crying Game, it's going to be the pick.
Yeah, the next one he's throwing into the ring. I know.
Dang it! I got to figure out which one that's going to be for me. I have so many options. I'm trying to stay away from things that don't have have videos on the channel already, but some of them I may have to be involved. Josie says had a veggie burger and squash tonight for dinner. It was delicious. Haven't had food yet. Haven't had time. Eating after I run my 1 mile after the Popcast is over. Luckily, I don't have to do anything tomorrow until the pay-per-view. So we're good. Almost up the episode 400 of One Piece. And Brian says, Kimmel is glad Damon had no nominations this year, says the Academy should never nominate him again. Comedy for a few is still comedy. Before we get into the awards, we can do the Josie's flashback. So, 1998. Fun year. Kama Sutra won cinematography. Beating Sunday. Oh, that's not one word. Hard 8, The Bible and Gun Club, Habit, and Sunday. Best debut was Aaron Eckhart for In the Company of Men.
Nice.
So he beat the trio and Squeeze, Alyssa Flores Take a Shot for Star Maps, Darling Narita for Bang, and Douglas Spain for Star Maps. First feature went to Eve's Bayou. In the Company of Men, The Bible and Gun Club, Heart 8, and Star Maps. Lost. First screenplay In the Company of Men. Heart 8, The Bible and Gun Club, Critical Care, and Star Maps. Best screenplay went to Kevin Smith for Chasing Amy.
Yeah, we're not done with Chasing Amy either.
Oh, I know we're not. We'll get there. Other nods were Touch, Waiting for Guffman.
Oh.
Lily's Gold and The Apostle. Supporting female went to Debbie Morgan for Eve's Bayou. Beating Miranda Richardson for The Apostle. Patricia Richardson. Is there any other Richardsons here? For Yuli's Gold. Amy Madigan for Love. And Farrah Fawcett for The Apostle.
Those Richardsons aren't related, to be fair.
No, I know.
No.
So, honestly, I feel like Joey Lauren Adams got robbed to be nominated for, because I see that she wasn't.
She got a Globe nomination.
But my boy Jason Lee won supporting male. Yeah, he did. Beat Efren Figueroa for Star Maps, Roy Scheider for The Myth of Fingerprints, Sam Jackson for Heart 8, and Ajay Naidu for Suburbia. I forgot he was nominated for Suburbia.
Yeah.
90 won for The Apostle for director. Comedy for 2 is still comedy. Beating Paul Schrader for Touch.
Where?
Go ahead.
You know we're the only people on Earth that think back to The Road and laugh.
I know.
You ask anybody else about The Road, they're like, that movie ruined my life.
Post-apocalyptic, dire, and then for AJ and Owen, 90.
That's exactly right.
It was just so unexpected. You don't say. Somebody's just walking down the street. You walk up and ask their age. You're not expecting to hear 90.
90.
And the fact that he is 90 now for real.
I know, it's great. But like you want to do like the little cheeky thing, just call him like Bob Duvall and things like that, and like you know him or something like that, like everybody does with De Niro. No, he's 90 and forever will be. So there.
Just like for the same year, Christopher Plummer is forever T.
Christopher Plummer will forever be T. And of course, Alfred Molina will always be the Spaniard.
And Christopher Plummer used to say how it was a problem that nobody knew he was Canadian. Everybody thought he was British. We're not helping that.
We are definitely not helping that. Maple syrup. Other nods were Paul Schrader for Touch, Wim Wenders for End of Violence, Larry Fessenden for Habit, and Victor Nunez for Uli's Gold. 90, one male lead. Beating Philip Baker Hall, Christopher S., John Turturro, and Peter Fonda.
What was Turturro for?
That would be Box of Midnight.
Interesting.
Wim Wenders. No.
Christy won for After. Yes.
No, it wasn't Wim Wenders, don't worry. I misread it.
Yeah. Julie Christie won for Afterglow, beating Stacey Edwards for In the Company of Men, Lisa Turturro for Sunday, Allison Fullen for All Over Me, and Robin Wright for Loved. The Apostle won feature, beating Chasing Amy, Waiting for Guffman, Love, and Uli's Gold. Josie asked if we've seen any of these 1997 movies. AJ loves Hard 8.
I was just getting ready to say, yeah, I've seen a lot of them. I've seen like the Oscar ones, like, you know, The Apostle and Uli's Gold and Afterglow, and obviously Chasing Amy, Eve's Bayou, Hard 8. But I was getting ready to say that in those early awards before they got bigger, I feel like it's kind of a bad sign for the movies that are like in the lower tier lately at the Spirit Awards, because that was 1997 movies.
Right.
And man, I to this day have not. That was my first time hearing about a lot of those. It's that you think by now a lot of them would have found some sort of following, but
I mean, you're marked for Guffman too, so it's like
yes, definitely.
And everybody knows my love for Kevin Smith, so yeah, Chasing Amy, and the fact that it is not only nominated, but it is Spirit Award winning makes me happy as well. Josie says, happy that Tar won cinematography. Now we're going to go back to a year that we probably don't have any. Well, actually, you might. 1988. 10 years earlier. Mate one winning.
I'm assuming this was one of the first ones, right?
I would say so.
It'd be close to back there.
Mate won cinematography.
Yeah, the Chris Cooper movie. Was that John Sayles, I think?
We'll get there.
That sounds right.
Take a shot. Barfly, The Dead, Slam Dance, and Tough Guys Don't Dance. Foreign went to My Life as a Dog, beating Hope and Glory. Au revoir, yes,
Wait. Oh. Tough Guys Don't Dance the one where Ryan O'Neal says, "Oh God, oh man, oh God, oh man"?
Perhaps.
I hope so. I'm pretty sure it is.
Ham Popo and Pick Up Your Ears. Morgan Freeman won supporting male for Street Smart.
No, he is awesome in that.
He beats David Strathairn, Wings Hauser, James Earl Jones, and Vincent Prince Wales. Angelica Houston went for The Dead for supporting female, beating Kathy Baker, Ann Southern, Martha Plimpton, and Karen Allen. Neil Jimenez won for River's Edge for screenplay, beating Mate One, The Dead, Anna, and Swimming in Cambodia. Dennis Quaid won lead for The Big Easy, beating James Woods, Terry O'Quinn, Mickey Rourke, and Spalding Gray.
That seems random, especially beating Mickey Rourke and Barfly is incredible. That Dennis Quaid is interesting.
Yeah. The female went to Sally Kirkland for Anna, beating Lillian Gish, Louise Smith, Joey Woodward, and Deborah Stipe. Wow, Dirty Dancing won first feature.
It's very interesting.
Beating Hollywood Shuffle, Waiting for the Moon, Anna and Siesta. John Huston won for The Dead for director, beating John Sayles for Mate One, Tim Hunter for River's Edge, Jim McBride for Big Easy, and Jonathan Demme for Swimming to Cambodia.
What was Martha Plimpton here for? Because my mind went to Running on Empty, but Running on Empty would have been the following year.
Just deleted it.
I feel like a lot of years are bleeding together here. I'm confused.
A movie called Shy People.
Oh, okay.
So River's Edge won feature over Swimming to Cambodia. The Dead, Mate One, The Big Easy, and Tough Guys Don't Dance. Josie wants to know if you've seen any of these movies and what are your thoughts?
River's Edge is fucking great. I really love... When I did a Mean Creek versus, it should have been with River's Edge, but I did it with something else.
Yeah, Bully.
The Education of Charlie Banks.
Oh, that's right. I like Charlie Banks.
River's Edge is probably going to be a movie club before too long, because that needs to be talked about. That's like Crispin Glover at his height. Dennis Hopper was in there. Keanu Reeves is in there. And it's like, yeah. It has to be talked about.
Josie says Penn and Teller should pull a Triangle of Sadness style rocket trick. Can I get a copy of Triangle of Unsadness, please? Very soon.
Less sadness.
Either way, I need 3 episodes of Santa Clauses, and I need to see that video. I love Matt Damon's cameo in Euro Trip.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's one of the best cameos of all time, hands down.
All right, let's get into this thing. So takes place in Santa Monica Tent. Everybody's less drunk this year because it's earlier, so that's good.
It seemed like everybody stopped at the Spirit Awards on their way to something else.
They just wanted to curse as much as humanly possible, and I greatly appreciated that.
Especially at 2 in the afternoon, local time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Since I aspire to be a writer-director, I don't want this to sound like it sounds. I'm not talking about on that level. I'm talking about being in public and being faced with the public itself and people putting things on you. I really feel Todd Field on a certain level. Like when I see how because the DGA thing was posted recently also, and he has a clear discomfort with being around people that's very potent.
He 100% don't want to be there.
And it's like I get you, like Todd Field, I get you, and I feel like you get me.
Good God. I have to use the line, and it's true, but I can't say television show because it's not TV. How can a YouTube video be worth this much embarrassment?
Well, at least they made it clear that's what was going on, and
that's why it went longer than it should have, because it didn't have an actual runtime.
Yeah.
That's the only problem, Brian, when bringing up the fact of having all the award shows being on YouTube. Number one, well, TV's dead anyway. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're going to stream your award show, at least, like, make sure it runs on time.
Well, the thing about it, we talked about this with SAG, is there is something fun about the freedom, because people aren't getting played off, so there's there's not like a disrespect factor.
There's no commercials.
Yeah, that's nice.
There was that IMDb video weirdness that was pretty much the only thing you got.
But yeah, there is, and the thing is, it's like, yeah, there doesn't really need to be a time limit, because who's the time limit for? There's nothing coming on after. It's just
We are not semi-pro.
But yeah, also at the same time, it does. Sometimes people need to be reined in.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm for things feeling more like free and who gives a fuck when people are on stage.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. I like the atmosphere that anything can be said and done. I like that idea.
Like, one of the great moments of this season, she even referenced it in her other speech. Michelle Yeoh winning SAG, and the only thing she can just say is "fuck." It's like, that's something that we would have been robbed of on TBS, and I like that it just happened to fall where we could all hear it.
I mean, the only issue from next year is that it does get put behind the Netflix paywall for those that don't have Netflix.
See, that's the time that you need to make it available to anybody.
Yeah, because it also doesn't help that not only does not everybody have Netflix, but we're at a time where a lot of people are saying fuck Netflix.
Yep.
So it's, yeah.
That's why I have to go to Cinemark to watch All Quiet on the Western Front, and they didn't get it at AMC. Because it's a Netflix movie, they're not going to show it.
Yeah, Criterion better pick it up for Blu-ray or something. Somebody's got to pick it up for Blu-ray, or I'm going to be really pissed. But I'm still waiting on The Tragedy of Macbeth, Apple. So, you know.
Apple was fine. I could watch that at AMC, but I can't watch Netflix movies at AMC.
I can only see Apple movies theatrically if they're the mystery movie at Regal, apparently.
Hi, champions, get ready.
Probably.
Actually, wasn't it this past week?
I don't remember. The last one I went to was Spirited. I don't even keep track of it now.
I think that the Regal mystery movie was February 27th. Hold on. I'm gonna pull an Ashley and look on camera for it.
Yeah, because there was one that we didn't get. I think the one that we didn't get, I think, ended up being missing.
There it is. Hold on. It doesn't say what it. It doesn't say what it. What? Hold on. And the mystery movie was. Thank you, Regal Movies on Twitter. Which I don't get to go to Regal now because All Quiet, they're not showing All Quiet at the local close to Regal. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even have to know. It was Champions.
Yeah.
I'm watching that in a double feature with Scream 6 on Friday. Because I'm watching it in 3D on Thursday for the fan showing, and then I'm watching it in regular version on Friday. I've heard great things, so I've been staying away from spoilers. So yeah, this award show for me, other than it going too long because I have stuff to do after the show's over, I will say that it felt more organic, and it was actually funny, which I can't say for most of the forced jokes from the rest of the season. Overall, that is. Some things hit, but this guy was funny.
Yeah, I think, well, the thing with Gerard Carmichael was he had a pretty fine line he had to walk on.
That's a fair point.
He kind of went. The great thing about Gerard Carmichael was when he started to say something at the Globes during his monologue, you didn't know if comedy or seriousness was coming, which is great. Just like his movie On the Count of Three, which nobody saw, which everybody should have because it's amazing.
We go back to your best movies of the year Popcast.
Yeah, I've been saying that all year, and then the year got really good at the last minute, and it ended up not making my top 10. So I had to eat it, but it would have been there. It was like one of two honorable mentions. It was close.
Close enough. So yeah, I mean, the award show really didn't have a set for anything, so it just kind of just flowed pretty well like a normal YouTube live stream would. So yeah, surprise of no one, Ke Huy Quan, not undefeated, but wins supporting performance. So, because at this point, the way that I am feeling with this award season, I'm not gonna say best anything. I'm just gonna say supporting performance.
Well, while we're at this category, now that I've seen some things, I do have to mention. Actually, I just have one thing to say about this.
Okay.
I guess I saw The Inspection this week.
Right.
Which is very good, though it does leave me a little baffled that since the categories are combined and they went with somebody from The Inspection, I'm a little confused as to why they went with Gabrielle Union instead of Bokeem Woodbine, who really should have been. If you were going with somebody in supporting for The Inspection, that's who I would have gone with, but she's also a producer on the movie. Maybe that had something to do with it, I don't know. But...
That's fair.
Yeah, she has strong scenes, especially the last scene, but I would have picked Bokeem Woodbine if I had to pick a supporting performance from The Inspection. But maybe that's just me.
Before we move on, Josie says, I'm really curious whether Owen will love or hate Past Lives. I wonder if it will remain A24's main horse or another contender on their slate war organic steam. It depends on what type of movie it is. And the description of the movie is very basic, so it's just it could hit. I mean, Josie, don't forget I love Drive My Car. A lot, actually. So things that you would definitely think I may not like, sometimes I do enjoy them. The Favorite comes to mind. Green Book comes to mind. She said I was always going to like, because obviously I'm biased as hell. But I mean, still. AJ, look like you're about to say something.
I was biting my tongue.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's different now. It was after one thing. You know where my mind goes when Drive My Car gets brought up.
Yeah.
Okay, I can say it. I can say it because you've seen the movie twice now.
I have.
Okay. So I like to make fun of Owen because whether he was here, whether he's down there, he falls asleep a lot during movies.
You're not wrong.
Regardless of how his day has gone, if he slept 8 hours the night before, he'll still fall asleep in the theater.
Yep.
So if you've seen Drive My Car, you will get why this is so ridiculous. The first time, he's seen it twice, don't worry. The first time, though, Owen came out of Drive My Car, and he's talking about, oh, it's so good. Drive My Car is so good. I can't believe it. I really like Drive My Car. And I said, yeah, I did too, but I think to get a real hold on it, I'm gonna like read and study Uncle Vanya. And like because I imagine the parallels are like really interesting and really intricate. And if you
Yeah.
know Uncle Vanya front to back, it's probably much more enhances the experience of Drive My Car.
Right.
And you said to me,
What's Uncle Vanya?
only what half the story, most of the story of Drive My Car is devoted to is him putting on Uncle Vanya.
Exactly.
I don't know how that happened. You also told me the first time you saw Dune, you didn't remember Brolin being in it.
I don't. But that's like saying, like, when I was talking about the underwater video game movie, I basically like say I don't know who people are because
Yeah,
I just
I
don't
said.
care.
Yeah, I was talking about Jermaine, and you said, "Oh, I can't tell the blue people apart." And it's like, no, Jermaine was there in person. You didn't see him the whole time.
I slept a lot during Avatar. It was nice. It was comfortable seats. But I feel like I enough of it anyway. I'm good.
I've just looked up
I'm not
A24's
watching.
sort of slate,
Jesus.
and there is one film that me and Owen are definitely getting behind that supposedly is coming out in 2023. The Iron Claw, the Von Erich film.
That is an A24 movie. That's right.
Yeah, and it's BBC, so it's perfect. It combines.
Nick Nemeth got announced as Gino Hernandez like last week.
Nick Nemeth's gonna die.
Oh my god. Yeah, literally. God, this movie's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for the Iron Claw. I hope it does something somewhere. I hope it's the wrestler and not fighting with my family. That's the best way to describe it. That'd be nice.
No, you just as long as it isn't Walk Like a Panther, you're all right.
There is a wrestling movie that's could potentially come to a very hard to find wrestling movie that could potentially come to movie club someday if I feel like I need to do that. But I have to give you everyone the link because it doesn't exist otherwise. And Ashley may or may not have seen it. So documentary, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. Then, of course, it goes to TV because we need TV in the Spirit Awards category. Apparently, like, don't know why. It was even mentioned during Quentin Brunson's speech. It was like, "Hey," it was like, "I work for Disney," and then I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, how is this independent?" Different rules, whatever. AJ's the only one that got the point ski for the Bear for new scripted series for Edinburgh.
Ashley got series. I got Edinburgh.
That's what I'm at right now is supporting performance in a new scripted series. I went in order.
Yeah, that was AJ's. Yeah, that one.
International film. None of us picked Joyland.
Which we fucking should have done because if I'd have known it was produced by Bloomin' Malala, I'd be like, oh, well, there you go.
First screenplay, AJ went with Emily the Criminal through Gritted Teeth.
Yeah. That's funny. I even said in my review of it, this feels like somebody's first script. And I meant it in a bad way.
Nice.
I think what I meant is it felt like somebody's first draft. And I love, by the way, that was it Sharon Horgan that brought up that none of these are a first screenplay. They're a first produced screenplay. I love that we're putting that on the table because that's so clearly what's going on here.
So best screenplay, less said the better. Pachinko put over for best ensemble cast. Whatever. The Bear won best new scripted series. Good job, Ashley.
I figured it was going to probably get... It was the only one that sort of had enough momentum from the other things to really sort of be the contender in this. So
Did we Did we fail to mention when we were predicting how weird it is that Jeremy Allen White's not here? That wasn't nominated.
Yeah.
But yet, Quinta Brunson wins, and Abbott Elementary is not nominated for series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it new enough for you, or is it because it was series 2 you don't know how to recognize it?
Reed Davenport won for Truer Than Fiction. Great speech, by the way. Good stuff, as always. We had that weird commercial for IMDb, which gave me like flashbacks to the early 2000s, literally. Ashley won with The Rehearsal for Best New Non-Scripted or Documentary Series.
I mean, even his speech felt like it was something out of The Rehearsal. That's the best bit. It was just like, where is this going? I don't know, but I'm still watching.
The Rehearsal is what put Ashley over the top, for starters, and started his dominance for a bit. Editing, AJ was the only one that didn't go with Tar, because reasons of smart booking.
Yeah, everything ever all at once in editing just seems so clear to me. I'm not necessarily saying that Oscar-wise, but once again, that's a conversation for Monday. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you can see it in the video. I was genuinely surprised you guys said Tar.
I was trying to will something into existence that wasn't going to be there. You know how I am. We both picked Tar for cinematography.
Yeah,
Ashley,
I really considered After Sun too.
So did Ashley. That's why he went with it.
Yeah,
It's crazy to think though that the only thing Tar won was the only thing that Everything Everywhere wasn't up against it in. Despite the fact, arguably, you could have put it in there for cinematography.
Ashley won for Someone to Watch.
Yeah, Nanny. You should all watch it. It's on Amazon.
Breakthrough Performance. Everybody knew who was going to win that one. We all got a point. That was the time that I started muting the television.
The one thing about her speech is, because it's the first time I've heard from her, it did sort of feel genuine. Whereas because you've seen Michelle and Key win a lot over the season, you sort of you don't know whether it's how can they be surprised that much. Whereas there was a lot of strong people going up against Stephanie. I didn't think it was a sort of lock. I just thought if it's the trendy people, they'll probably go with it. But pretty much all the performances there, the two that I've seen, Frankie and Gracia's in After Sun and Marina, are really good.
But it was always going to be a situation where Stephanie would win. And of course, not going to explain, right afterwards, Tori won Producer's Award.
I love the fact that normally it's sort of normally I don't even bother. What I did was 5 minutes of IMDb looking, and I got a clean sweep on the 3.
Yeah.
On those poor ladies that got trotted out every single time they threw up those categories.
I love the fact it was say cheers to this whiskey for sponsoring it, and people would wait, do we cheer? Because it was that weird, awkward 10, 15 second they've got to walk to the side to let people see the screen behind them.
The award show takes place in a freaking tent on the beach in Santa Monica. I don't think whiskey is the highest form of alcohol they have there.
It always actually shocks me how many people show up for the Spirit Awards.
Yeah,
I feel like more people show up for the Spirit Awards than they do the Globes, I think.
Yeah, there's more people at the Spirit Awards than show up for Impact tapings.
Even Frances McDormand showed up just to not go on stage when her movie was called.
She just wanted to yell along with everybody else about eating glass. I've seen different facets of Aubrey Plaza lately, and it's that was fun. Right after watching her in Operation Fortune, that was fun. So And I'm not being sarcastic either. Operation Fortune's fun. Guy Ritchie is back, doing the Guy Ritchie thing.
He's been back. He's been back since The Gentleman, at least. The Gentleman and Wrath of Man were both great. I thought.
I didn't see either one of those.
It's just fuck Disney.
Yeah.
And honestly, The Covenant looks pretty decent too. I saw the trailer for that as well. So of course we had the giant women talking put over, which I guess is the only flowers the movie's going to get except for screenplay.
Probably.
For a movie that everybody thought was going to start sweeping things, it seemed like it just didn't happen.
We'll talk Monday if it's still the screenplay frontrunner.
I do like to point out, not that I paid much attention to the YouTube chat, but when women are talking and it led with the casting director who was male, and of course it starts with a man talking.
Yeah, I went to the link with about the countdown clock had about 2.5 minutes. You better believe the first fucking thing I did was hide that goddamn chat because I knew there'd be nothing worth a shit in there.
I didn't look at it.
Yeah, just
to be fair, I kept an eye on it because it sort of kept me abreast of what award was coming next, so I knew which place to go in the spreadsheet.
No offense to our chat here, but the hide chat button is my favorite thing. It's just being able to mute the noise.
That's fair.
Like, oh my god.
Ashley, we all picked After Sun for first feature. We lost the Cassavetes Award. Cathedral wins.
By the way, the reason we lost Cassavetes is because we also had a love song. Yes. And a love song is a very sweet movie. I had no idea what it was. It's literally Dale Dickey and Wes Studi are friends that may or may not be falling in love, and they just camp out by a lake. That's the whole movie. It's really nice.
Sounds fun.
Well, keep in mind they also bump into that pair that are trying to dig up their relative.
Yeah. Where the child is the adult of the group of 4 other adults.
So, director, there's no need to say it. We all went with it because it's the most logical. Again,
I keep waiting for one of them to pull an Ethan Cohen and just say, "I don't have anything else to add." It's been said.
The one thing, it's going back to earlier, but because it's the same people. The only time the air was sort of deflated out of the room for one of their wins was when it was Lee Curtis's presentation for screenplay. Because I guess they were like, oh, they chose somebody from the same film to give the award out.
That was bad planning.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her support for the movie. I love her support for the Daniels. But God, a part of me really wanted to see the look on her face if it was Todd Field or somebody else.
Buddy, God. Speaking of anybody else, it's weird because so late in the show, of such a non-important category of best lead performance in a new scripted series went down.
I was convinced they forgot about
it. Yeah.
When I saw the time left on the show, I was thinking, are we literally just going to get this award has been presented off the camera for one award? And I was like, no, it has to go next. Yep, it did. Quentin Brunson winning for Abbott Elementary. And lead in feature, duh. Yeah, that's it. I didn't even hit double digits this show because I swung for the fences too much and it was a bad idea. Just like this award ceremony for me. AJ and Ashley have been fighting tooth and nail, with Ashley getting the upper hand by 1 point in this show.
By my count, I have us tied.
Yeah, we're both on 13.
No.
What's my count?
No. 1, 2, 3. No. 4, 5, 6. Hold on. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How the heck did that happen? Screw it. Who cares? You tied. I didn't even get double digits. Let's go to the next award show. I guess.
There's only one left.
Thank God.
Wow. 1.2 left because we've got
Yeah.
WGA tomorrow.
Yeah, while I'm enjoying myself in a Cinemark theater watching AEW Revolution and happy, I will see another awards body give another undeserved award to the Daniels, which I do not want to think about.
Just double checking. So if all my picks come through, and Owen is happy that Everything Everywhere doesn't win, the gap between me and AJ goes to 1 point before the Oscars.
That's great. Whatever. Who cares?
That's my only hope. At this rate, Owen, you might as well just go really wacky for the Oscars.
At this rate, I might as well just let you guys do the show and just not even show up.
Well, I'll say this. I said that I'm making a swing for the fences with Banshees in one category for Oscar predictions. This is, by the way, this feels dangerous, but after I finished my Oscar predictions yesterday, I actually felt pretty good about them.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Like I said, that's probably a kiss of death, but yeah, because a lot of times, like the past couple of years at least, it's just like I don't fucking know, and there are definitely I don't fucking know categories, but
I also
Yeah.
realised tonight another thing that I like about the BAFTAs. They actually did like something to sort of wrap up the show, rather than every other American show. It's just, thanks for coming, see you next year. Like, can you not come up with a script for, like, you know, thank you to all the presenters, all the winners and all the nominees, and for you for sitting in the room. We'll see you next time. Rather than just, fuck off.
well, there was that one time where Kimmel and Matt Damon were going to end the 2017 Oscars with a bit until the Moonlight thing happened.
Oh, great.
and then the show had its own ending.
That person hasn't been seen. There's a reason for that.
Is that it? Are we done here?
Thank God. No, it's like I love this awards and Ashley just disappeared. I love award season, I really do, but you gotta understand when the movie you don't like is winning everything and is gonna continue to do so, it just becomes unbearable. It's not fun. This isn't fun anymore.
Well, you still got
I keep bashing the movie. It's like I got nothing. I got no horses in the race anymore. All my horses have been shot.
you feel you don't really do you, I mean I assume you have a preference, but it's probably you're fine either way in the Butler Fraser race, aren't you?
Oh yeah, totally.
So you got that going for you. Yeah, like I said, we'll have a talk about supporting actress on Monday.
I've got an answer to that.
We'll talk about where that is.
I've got an answer to that, and I feel like I'm gonna strike out again, but it's worth trying.
We're probably going the same direction.
I think so.
I will say we talked about it's interesting that SAG and BAFTA didn't match. We're really showing our hands here. I went 2 and 2. I went with 2 SAG winners and 2 BAFTA winners.
I haven't even looked at mine yet because I'm so disenchanted with the season. I just want to get it over with.
I'm waiting for WGAs, and if there's a crap match on Revolution, which
That's not a thing.
I don't know. It would have been if Jay Cargill was on it.
I mean, the women's 3-way is probably the weakest match on the card built alone, but it's still going to be a match.
I'm trying to remember if they've added any more matches. Oh, I guess that's a good with a 60-minute match. They can't have too many matches on the card.
Seems like
Now
this.
you've got the 6-man that was added last night on Rampage. For
This
the
seems, this seems like a we've ended the stream first conversation.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
I almost forgot we're still like live.
so yeah, Brainwashed finally coming out as a single March 10th. How appropriate. That'll be fun. So that's a single that has not been able to be released officially yet. Now it's officially coming out, which I'm looking forward to that. That's your show. Thanks everyone for joining us live or in archive. Let's get through this point. I'm defeated in every way possible. Ashley can be found on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK. His content's forthcoming eventually. AJ just finished the English. You can catch that on the network. And the Santa Clauses is coming eventually. And once it does, I'm sorry for users, you're not going to like me for a couple days.
And I gotta tell you, people, only a few people are gonna be there anyway, so it's fine. Those Santa Claus videos coming up are probably gonna be the most half-assed videos I've ever done on this channel in the 10 years we've been here.
Nice.
Because I just don't fucking care. We're just filling in the blanks. That's the only reason they exist.
Exactly correct.
But
It
at
would
the
have
same
gone
time,
around-
isn't that how you feel about the show?
Yeah,
Half-assed.
yes. It would have gone the route of Peele's Twilight Zone, and I would just forget about it.
And then Tremors.
Mr. Mercedes. I spend a lot of fucking time on that Mr. Mercedes video, and it's got like 30 views, so it's like, I think we're good. Just a season 1 video by itself, we're good. Because that was a lot.
So yeah, leave AJ a comment if you'd like, and show up May 1st for the 10-year anniversary of Popcast Network. And if we've ever talked about it on here, do your research now. Start watching old videos and ask us questions about things in the past.
Or, you know,
Sure, we may feel differently than we did back then, too.
I was gonna say, you don't have to watch old videos. In fact, don't. They suck.
Some of them don't. We've got some solid stuff on here that not enough people have watched.
I know Spencer's like keeping me alive. I feel like he's being way generous on the quality of those videos.
What the fuck?
I mean, I'm so glad he's getting something out of them. But I would never have guessed. I would never have guessed.
Well, as always, thanks live chat, thanks archive listeners and viewers, and that's your show. Programming note: obviously tomorrow's AEW Revolution, so there's not going to be any content, but the WGA is going on, which means we'll talk about that probably before we start our Oscar predictions on Monday. Time to be announced. Like I said, somewhere in like the 7:30 8:30 range. Just stay tuned. Keep watching the YouTube channel, and Ashley will post it when it's ready. And then Tuesday, Popcast Movie Club, The Great White Hype, which it ties in perfectly to the opening of Creed 3 doing so well in the box office. So yeah, that's going to be good. Looking forward to that. And then next week, it's the Oscars. And then Monday, we're throwing you a bonus QA. And we're going back to a regular schedule. Crying Game, I believe, is like the week after for Popcast Movie Club, AJ's pick. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming on the network. So stay tuned. Ashley, do you have anything to say? You look like you're wanting to say something.
Sorry, I just saw the discussing film Twitter. Seth Rogen and John Cena are going to be Bebop and Rocksteady in the animated TMNT next month. Or in a few months. It might, if the date's the other way around and it's August.
I greatly support this.
With also Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko and Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman.
Who is Baxter Stockman?
Giancarlo Esposito. Gus from Better Call Saul.
I know who Giancarlo Esposito is.
Oh.
Dude, that sounds great. I'm excited. That's your show. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. Till next time, boys and girls. That's all we got to say about that.